Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome you all in PIST Virtual Learning System session 2020. Hope you all fine and enjoying your virtual learning classes. Alhamdulillah. Dear students, this lecture is for grade first year, subject computer science, and today we are going to start new chapter number 7, database fundamentals. And this is our 37th video lecture. In this lecture, first of all, we will start from unit introduction, then introduction to database. Then we will discuss data and information, what is data and how it is converted into information. Then we will discuss file management system. After completing this lesson, you will be able to understand, differentiate between data and information. Define file management system. Define database and database management system DBMS. Then identify advantages of DBMS over the file management system. Then identify the role of database administrator DBA. Know the types of database models. Know the types of database languages for relational database. Define the basic database terminology. Know how to plan a database. Then describe data modeling and draw entity relationship diagram, ER diagram. Then transform the ER diagram to the relational schema. Then normalize relation up to third normal form. So all these are the key points which we will discuss in this chapter and in this unit. So let's start with unit introduction. A database is a collection of related files that are usually integrated, linked, or cross-referenced to one another. This unit is indicated to database and database management system DBMS. It introduces the types of database models and provides the basic knowledge about data modeling and ER diagram for planning and development of a database system. It presents the advantages of using a database management system over the old file management system. It describes the responsibilities of database administrator, DBA, for the performance, integrity, and security of database. So in old days, basically, we use traditional file system, which was not perfect. So database is a collection of related file and in which we can use our data in the form of related files, which all files are interlinked with each other. So the process of data processing and different activities take place, like the process of manipulating data to achieve the required objective. As a result, it is called data processing. And the software is used to process data. The software converts the data into meaningful information, and that software is called DBMS, database management software, which is used to convert your database and perform your operation. A series of actions or operations are performed on data to get the required output or result. So in this chapter, inshallah, we will discuss activities in data processing, how data converts into information, different activities involved in data processing, like data capturing, data manipulation, managing output result. And when we will discuss data capturing, the process of recording the data in some form is called data capturing. Data manipulation, the process of applying different operation on data is called data manipulation. And in data manipulation, we have classifying, calculation, sorting, and summarizing. Then managing output result, and output results are in the form of information. The processed form of data is called information. So managing output results in this unit we will discuss all in detail. What is database? What is database? A database is any organized collection of data. Some examples of database you may encounter in your daily life are a telephone book, TV guide, airline reservation system, motor vehicle registration record, papers in your filing cabinet, files on your computer, hard drive. So basically, database and database system refer to database and database system have become an essential part of everyday life in modern society. Most of us encounter several activities that involve some interaction with a database. For example, if we go to bank to deposit or withdraw money, if we make a hotel or airline reservation, or if we access a computerized library catalog to search for book, chances are that our activity will involve someone accessing a database. Even purchasing items from a supermarket nowadays in many cases involve an automatic update of database that keeps the inventory of supermarket items. So all these are the daily life examples, and nowadays most of the time we are using and we are interacting with the database in any case, like if we are using bank deposit, if we are visiting supermarket, and if we are visiting library, and we are doing reservation, online reservation. So in all cases we are interacting with a database. So a database is an object for storing complex structured information. What makes database unique is the fact that databases are designed to retrieve data quickly. Database samples such as access an SQL server called database management systems. To access the data stored in the database and to update the database, you use a special language, structured query language, SQL. So dear students, the database samples such as Access, these are Access, SQL Server, all are DBMS, Database Management System, and SQL Structured Query Language is a query language which is used for access something from the database. So you have to use SQL structured query language to extract data and to manipulate with database. So you can use structured query language, SQL, and sort of queries to retrieve your information and data from the database. And we can use DBMS, database management system, like most commonly database management system is MS Access. And then we have a SQL server, MySQL. All these are database management system which we can use and interact and manage our database. Here you can view customer, customer ID, first name, last name, contact number, SSN, city. So here we have a database. This is a complete information of all the customers which we have. And if customer wants to extract the data, want to get the information after processing, it can get the data. And if company want to save, so they can get the data from the user and then save in the form of related file into database. So basically database can be defined as an organized collection of related data. The word organized means that data is stored in such a way that the user can store, manipulate, and retrieve data easily. The word related means that a database is normally created to store the data about a particular topics. Okay, like particular topics like the customer, inventory system, the supermarket system, the reservation system, and everywhere we have database. Like suppose if you create a database for students, it will contains the data about the student such as roll number, name, address, and the information about the student. Similarly, if the database is about the employees of an organization, it will contains the data and information about the employees such as employee ID, rate, and salary. All data in database is arranged in tables. So here if we have a customer data, so here we have customer table, customer ID, customer first name, last name, contact number. So you can organize your data in the form of tables. And a database can be defined as an organized collection of related data and tables, and files. An organized set of stored information usually on one topic. One topic means, I suppose, if you want to save the information about students, so you can make the table and the database, and customer, books, library books. The next is a collection of records. Collection of records means you have a number of records and the collection of records in your database. A way to organize information in a file so that you can examine information on a variety of ways and access the information in new ways. Then a type of filing cabinets that can help you manage, manipulate, organize, sort, and modify information. Now the next is, what is data? What is data? Data is raw facts and figures. Data is raw facts and figures. These have very little meaning until they are sorted or they are used to make calculations. The process of sorting or calculation data is called data processing. The results of data processing is information. So what is data? Data is raw facts and figures, and these are meaningless until you will perform any operation on that data. So data is a raw facts and figures. These have very little meaning until they are sorted or they are used to make calculation. And the process of sorting or calculating data is called data processing. And after processing, your data is converted into information. So data refers to the facts and figures in raw form. It is not in organized form. Data is the raw material given as an input to the computer for processing. For example, the item code, description, quantity, and price of item purchased in a store are data. When this data is entered into the computer and processed, it prints the bill, which is the output of the computer. That is a meaningful form which you can view easily. So basically data is raw facts and figures, quantities, graphs, measurement, observation, facts, numbers. What is data? Data is raw facts and figures and the collection of facts and figures and statistics related to an object. An object can be a person, event, or anything about which data is gathered. So data can be processed to create useful information. Data is valuable asset for an organization. Data can be used by a manager to perform effective and successful operation of management. It provides a view of past activities related to the rise and fall of organization. It also enables to user to make better decision for future. So data is very useful for generating reports, graphs, and statistics. Collection of data objects and their attributes. And attributes is a property or characteristics of an object. Examples: eye color of a person, temperature. Attribute is also known as variable, field, characteristics, or features. And collection of attribute describe an object. Object is also known as record, point, case, sample, entity, or instance. So here you can view on your screen the attributes are refined. All these are attributes, and objects are in the form of object is also known as record, point, and case. So the example of data is, suppose a student fill an admission form. When they get admission in college, the form consists of raw facts about the student. These raw facts are student's name, father name, address. The purpose of the collecting this data is to maintain the record of the student during their study period in the college. But remember that this is the raw facts and figure, not arranged form. This is a raw facts and figures and the data. This is data. And after processing, your data is converted into information. So what is information? Information is data that has been processed to make it meaningful and useful. So when you will add meaning plus data, data plus meaning is equal information. Another way to add meaning is to process the data. For example, individual exam marks are raw data, but if you were to process those to say that the average marks for the class was 53%, or that was did not did better than girls, or that 76% of the students in your school got a grade A or B, then that is information. So processed form of data is called information. So suppose student fill admission form and they enter all the information, student's name, father name, all these are raw facts and figures. But after processing, this student information is converted into meaningful information which can be useful and you can present to someone easily. So information data that has been processed within a context to give it meaning. Information is data that has been processed. Information is interpreted. Data information is meaningful. So information is the processed or organized form of data. When data is processed by the computer and it is properly arranged and organized, it is converted to information. It is also called the output of computer and is the meaningful form of data. For example, the names of students and their marks in all the subjects is data. When it is processed by the computer, the result sheets and the report cards produced is information. So data, after converting into information, the processed data is called information. Information is meaningful, useful, and organized. It is used for making decisions. Data is used as input for processing, and information is the output of this processing, as you can view on your screen. So here we have a data. After processing, your data is converted into meaningful information which you can present to anyone. And the example is data collection from census is used to generate different types of information. The government can use it to determine the literacy rate in the country. Government can use the information in important decision to improve literacy rate. And the simple example is the student information. So first of all, you can get the student's name and student marks in all subjects in the form of data. When it is processed by the computer, the result sheet in the form of result sheet and the report card. So it is called information. So after processing, students' data is converted in a presentable form. So you can generate the result sheet, the journal sheet, and you can generate the report cards and result card, which you can present to anyone. This is a processed form of your data. And this is a kind of information. This is an information. So information is meaningful and arranged form of data. Data is raw facts and figures. Okay. So here data is raw facts and figures, and it's data sheets, labor, computer desk, chair, electricity. So you can enter your data in the form of input. Data is raw facts and figure, and it's a input. After processing data entry, file data sheets, it is converted into output. Information is output and the processed form of our data. So difference between data and information is data raw facts and figures, and information data with a strict meaning. And data is no contextual meaning, and its information is meaningful. You can understand easily. And that is just numbers and text. And information is processed data in organized context, which you can understand easily. Data is the collection of raw facts and figures, and information is the meaningful compilation of data. Data do not support decision making, information supports decision making. Statements of comprehensive income and statements of financial positions are examples of data. Reports to the management organization performance are an example of information. So data is unprocessed raw facts about a particular entity, and information is processed form of data. Information is a processed form of data. Data is used as input in the computer, and information is the output of the computer. Data is not meaningful. Information is meaningful. Data volume is normally huge. Information volume is normally short. Data is asset of organization and is not available to people for sale. Information is normally available to people for save. And data is difficult or even impossible to reduce. For example, if government close the data of census, it will be almost impossible to reproduce it. And information is easier to reproduce if lost. For example, if the list of literate citizen is lost, it can be reproduced easily from the stored data. Data is used rarely, information is used frequently. Data is an independent entity, information depends on data. Data is not used in decision making, information is very important for decision making. File management system. A file or file-based management system is a collection of programs used for managing data stored in various files. Each program within a file management system is developed independently and it defines and manages its own data. In file management system, records in one file are not related to the records in any other file. This approach leads to many problems, which include data duplication in different files, data inconsistency, sharing of data, and lack of flexibility in organizing and queuing the data. For example, a company may store a salesman's name, address, telephone number, and commission rate in a file accounts department, and the same information may be stored in another file in sales department. The accounts department, for example, may change the commission rate of salesman, but the sales department may fail to update its file. This file produce report calculating with out of date figures. This inconsistency in files occur due to duplication of same data in files. This is the main problem faced in file management system. So file management system means that you have a flat file system and you are saving your information in different files. So if you will update one file, the changes cannot be updated in other file. Like you have the same file in two departments and you are using the file management system. So in sales department, they update the information, but in the account department, if they did not update the information, so their statistics and their information may be inconsistent, and it can create lots of problem and trouble. So file management system, collection of system software that manages all aspects of users and programs access to secondary storage, usually part of the operating system, and translate operation into commands to physical storage devices, implemented into 4 layers: command layer, file control, storage IO control, and secondary storage device. So file management system objectives are: meet the data management needs of the user, guarantee that the data in the file are valid, optimize performance, provide IO support for a variety of storage devices types, minimize the potential for lost or destroy data, provide the standardized set of IO interface routines to the user process, provide IO support for multiple users in case of multiple user system. So file management system is traditional file processing is the first computer-based method to handle business application. In the past, many organizations stored data in files on tape or disk. The data was managed using file processing system, and in file processing system, basically, data is organized in the form of the flat file systems. And typical file processing system, each department in an organization has its own set of files. The files are designed specially for their own application. Record in one file are not related to the record in any other file, and if one file is updated, so other file will not be updated. So there are the problems in traditional file approach. These are data redundancy. In file processing system, the same data may be duplicated in several files. This is called data redundancy. Data inconsistency. File system approach can also result in data inconsistency. Inconsistency means that two files may be contains different data of the same student. And program data dependency. Program data dependency is a relationship between data in files and programs required to update and maintain the files. And lack of flexibility. The file processing system is not very flexible. It cannot easily generate the information that is different from routines. Then integrity problem. Integrity means reliability and accuracy of data. The stored data must satisfy certain type of consistency. And then we have security problem. File processing system does not provide security on data. In some situation, it is required to provide different types of access to data to different users. So all these are the file management system problems. And to remove these problems, we use database. So these problems basically remove by the database in order to solve the problems of traditional file system and file management system for managing data. The concept of database was introduced. A database is a collection of related data. For example, consider the name, telephone numbers, and address of the people you know, and you may have recorded this data in index address book, or you stored it on your computer's hard disk using software such as Microsoft Access or Excel. This is a collection of data having implicit meaning, and enhanced is a database. A database can be of any size and complexity. And for example, database names and telephone numbers of your friends may have only few records. So database is a collection of data and information describing items of interest to an organization. Database management system is used to manage your database, a program that makes it possible for user to manage the data in database. And database in order to increase accessibility and predictability. Database is used to Database management system is used to increase the accessibility and productivity. And database is a collection of logical related data set of files. Each file may contain different types of information and are used for specific purposes. The files may be organized in different ways to meet different processing and retrieval requirements of the users. And the examples of the database, you can have saving accounts, current accounts, automobile loan, personal loan, client information, and these are the simple examples. And supermarket, nowadays we have a supermarket. In supermarket we have a database. In airline reservation system, all these are the examples of database. Database are basically container for data because a public library stores books. We could also say data library is a database of books, but strictly defined database are computer structures that save, organize, and protect and deliver data. A system that contains database is called database management system, or DBMS. The typical diagram representation for database is cylinder. In cylindrical form, we can represent the database. So facilities of database can be provided: adding new files, inserting new data index, retrieving data, updating, deleting, removing, and database remove all the problems in traditional file approach. It will remove the all problems we have in traditional file approach. Thank you so much, students. Inshallah, in next lecture, we will continue the topic. Till then, Allah Hafiz.